everybody, and welcome to this edition of The Look Back. I'm Mike, and we are here tonight with my good friends Walter and Alex Dixon. Guys, I am so glad to have you back. I knew we'd get you back, but I didn't know when.
Well, thanks for having us again, Mike. We're glad to be here.
Yeah, great to have y'all. I'm just tickled to death. Been a lot of things going on since we last spoke. World Classic Professional Big Time Wrestling had their Great Falls Bash 2, Season of the Hitman at the OUC Shoemaker Center in Chillicothe, Ohio on September 30th. Actually made that trip, and it was a great time. Met a lot of stars up there. Hacksaw Jim Duggan was there, got to talk to him. Haku was there. Mark Henry, Ted DiBiase, IRS. Nick Aldis was there, Mickey James, Davey Boy Smith Jr., Austin Idol, Victoria was there, the Boogeyman, Tommy Rich, Jimmy Garvin, Ronnie Garvin, Tito Santana, Tully Blanchard, Gangrel, Demolition. There's a lot of good stars there, and of course Bret the Hitman Hart. It was a great time to be around a lot of people, that's for one. But really had a good time, had a good opportunity to go up and just be around some good people.
I know you were talking earlier before you started the show at Mike Rotunda had a heck of a line leading to him, so a big turnout for him, and I'm sure a lot of that had to do with the recent passing of Wyndham.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he did. He had a good lineup at his table, everybody there to meet him. Surprised me, Hacksaw Jim Duggan actually had a line that probably 50 people long all day long.
Well, I mean, it's Hacksaw Jim Duggan. It's,
Yeah, and he's had some health problems too that he's been fighting. Actually had surgery back around the first part of September and still made it to the event. Talked to him a little bit, and he's just plugging along, still going strong, and just wishing him well. Also had Bushwhacker Luke down there. Got to actually talk to Bushwhacker Luke. That was a comedy act in himself. I'll try to throw pictures in along the way, but like I said, you had Jimmy Garvin, Ronnie Garvin. Jimmy Garvin looks good. He's 72 years old. I mean, man.
Yeah, you sent me a lot of pictures from that, and a lot of those guys, especially for their age, they look like they're still really just kicking along. Look like they're doing great. But I know you said that Barry Windham wasn't there.
Barry Windham wasn't there, and
hopefully his health is.
Yeah, hopefully it's not health related. Wish him the best.
Always.
This weekend coming up in Catlettsburg, Kentucky, Time Warp is going to have their Bluegrass Wrestling Con 5, and I have a card on that somewhere, but we will look at it. Going to be some good names coming. Powers of Pain, Barbarian and Warlord are going to be there. Jimmy Hart's going to be there. Mr. Hughes, Mark Henry, Ron Simmons. Nick Aldis is going to be at that one. Tommy Rich, Demolition. Shane Douglas is going to be there. Baby Doll's going to be there. The Nasty Boys. And actually, they just announced the other day, Debbie Combs, former women's champion, is going to make a trip up to that one. That's going to be a big event.
That's a good addition to the card.
Yeah, Earl and them guys do a great job down there getting these names in, and after that, going to be some wrestling going on after that in Catlettsburg, and then going to make a trip back and meet with you. We're going to get together down in Betsy Lane, Kentucky.
Betsy Lane High School, that's right.
Wildfire Championship Wrestling going to have their Fire on the Mountain, and that is going to be a barn burner. I'm going to tell you something. That's the first time in over 24 years that wrestling has been in Betsy Lane. I think the last time it was there was Smoky Mountain Wrestling, and that was in the late 90s, 95 I think was. That was a long time ago, but on the card you're going to have some great names, and I think you got the card pulled up.
I've got the card here for that. Got a lot of the names from the show there in Catlettsburg going to be there. Starting off with Tommy Wildfire Rich and Richie Rich going to be in action. The Russians. You got the Wildfire Smoky Mountain Championship on the line. The champion there, Kenny France versus a mystery opponent. handsome Nick Hamrick, the Wildfire heavyweight champion, will be in action against a mystery opponent there as well. Wildfire Junior heavyweight champion Corey Sparks will be defending against Colby Carmichael. You got Mr. Hughes going to be there doing a meet and greet. The Fiji Wildman will be in action with Lady Inferno, and the big match there that we talked about last time that Alex and I were here, and I know the match Alex is looking forward to, Adam Newsom, the Human Horror Movie, versus Shane Douglas.
That's it. That's going to be a great match. Like I said, great card. We'll run through them one by one and, see what we think about them. But first match up going to be that we look at Wildfire Tommy Rich and Richie Rich, the defending Wildfire Championship Wrestling Tag Team Champions, going up against the Russians. I mean, there's nothing harder in the world that you could think of but wrestling somebody that you don't know who they are.
That's a fact. These masked Russians, we don't know anything about them, really.
I've heard on good authority that Putin himself sent them over here.
Well, now that's a very good possibility. I mean, he's invading everything else. Why not Eastern Kentucky?
Well, professional wrestling may be his next stomping ground. You never know about this.
You never know. He may come in and try to take over.
Right now, though, if they think they're going to come in here and run over Tommy Rich and Richie Rich, they're sadly mistaken.
Well, you're talking about two veterans of the ring there, and these Russians are big guys. They look like they're really monstrous guys, but you're talking about two veterans of the squared circle.
Tommy
may not be as easy to knock them over as they think.
Tommy Rich, he's had many battles against people like Buzz Sawyer, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert, Handsome Harley Race. He beat Harley Race for the NWA World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, match we watched last time Alex and I were here. That was a great match, by the way. If your viewers haven't went back and watched it, it was a fantastic match.
Yeah, that's a fact. You can't count him out, that's for sure. Next match up, will be Kenny France and a mystery opponent. Another, like I say, the hardest.
Yeah, it makes you wonder if Kenny even knows who he's facing. So
it's a mystery opponent. I hope he does.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, is it just a mystery to us, the viewers, or is Kenny in the dark here too? So,
Well, you ever have to wrestle somebody in the dark, it's going to be a hard one.
Yeah.
I hope they turn the lights on for him.
Kenny looks like he's a pretty good sized guy too, and the fact that he's the Wildfire Smoky Mountain champion, that says a lot about his talent.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fact. Colby Carmichael going up against Corey Sparks for the Wildfire Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Those are a couple of younger, lean-looking guys. Be honest, Corey Sparks looks like he's only about 12. It looks like they just told him he couldn't order Happy Meals anymore.
Oh, so stop. He can't help it. But I honestly think that will be a barn burner. That you talk about two people that can go. I think that may be something to watch.
That could be a very, very entertaining match. You might see these guys doing some stuff that is, not unusual for guys their size, but it may be some stuff we don't see here in the mountains very often.
That's very true. And you take somebody like Colby Carmichael. He's been in wrestling for a while now. He's not an inexperienced rookie. He's a veteran. He knows how to do it. I mean, I think that's definitely going to be. Then you have, I think they said the Fiji Wild Man's going to be in action. Who could it be? Could he be one of the mystery opponents? You never know about this stuff.
Yeah, you never know. Could the Fiji Wild Man be the opponent for Kenny France's Wildfire Smoky Mountain Championship?
It's possible.
Or could we see that title change hands? Because look the Fiji Wild Man. He's a monster.
That's for sure.
He's a real monster.
He's been mowing through everything in the region. I mean, anything stands in his way. Look at him. I mean, he's massive.
Yeah, he's huge, and of course he has that one bullet in the chamber that you don't want to forget about with Lady Inferno.
Well, whoever goes up against him better have eyes in the back of their head. That's for sure.
That's fact.
Anytime you got a manager or a valet at ringside, you have got to be on your A game. You've got to be watching all points. think also on there, the heavyweight championship, Wildfire heavyweight championship, handsome Nick Hamrick, he's going up against a mystery opponent. A lot of mystery opponents on this.
Yeah, you got a couple of mystery opponents. You don't know who Fiji Wildman's going to be in action with. Could he be one of the mystery opponents that we're looking at, or is he going to have is there going to be another opponent there for him? Could he be going against handsome Nick Hamrick, or could he be going against Kenny Frank?
That's true.
We don't know.
Nick Hamrick's got his hands full with whoever he gets, though.
That's a fact. And of course, you can't forget that the one and only human horror movie, Adam Newsom. He's been looking for Nick Hamrick, I believe.
Yeah, but Adam's going to have his hands full, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
going
Shane
against-
Douglas is
yes,
not
franchise
one
Shane
to
Douglas.
step over.
Former NWA champion, ECW champion, legend in the sport of wrestling. He's WWF Intercontinental champion, tag team champion multiple times. You can't count Shane Douglas out, and it being in a casket match.
That's a fact. That's something that I didn't realize until just recently. The last time we talked, I didn't realize that was going to be a casket match. Human horror movie Adam Newsom versus the franchise Shane Douglas in a casket match, folks. You can't write it better.
Well, a lot of people think casket match, the first person they think of is The Undertaker.
Obviously.
And he's had some great casket matches. I mean, he is the one who made the casket match what it is, but you also got to know that the first casket match was actually between the American Dream Dusty Rhodes and Ivan Koloff. Little known trivia there, a little history lesson. But
Now, I have a question, though, and maybe you have an answer, maybe you don't. Has Adam Newsom or Shane Douglas, either one, ever been in a casket match?
I don't know, but I can tell you one thing. You look at a casket, you've been to as many funerals as I have, they shut that lid, it's over. Whoever's in there is done.
Yeah, that's a scary place to be.
That's the way to lose it. You got to have in the back of your head, dude. If I lose, I'm in that box and that lid's shut.
Yep.
I mean, there's no way around it.
Yeah, you don't get another opportunity. There's no pinfall to kick out of, no submission to break out of or reverse. Once you're in that box and the lid's shut, it's game over.
Absolutely, and also on that card, I do want to mention you were talking about the meet and greets. The Golden Boy Chick Donovan's going to be there, 76 years old, and he is in better shape than most people 30 years old. I mean, if you haven't seen him, get a picture of that man. He is in great physical shape. Sad part about it is I'm hearing he's having trouble. Seen a post that he had made, a video that the state Wrestling and Boxing Commission are giving him heck about getting a wrestling license in the Commonwealth of Kentucky. That's
a shame. I think that's really it's nothing more than age discrimination. I know that the commission's they think they're just looking out for his health, but the truth of the matter is, the guy's a veteran. He knows how to take care of himself in and out of the ring. You shouldn't be stopping a guy like that. He's in, like you said, he's in better shape than most 30-year-olds.
I would say and it may be safe to say that he's got more experience in the ring than possibly anyone on that card, or maybe a couple of them put together.
I would say, aside from maybe the Riches, he's probably got more experience than just about everyone else on the card, maybe all combined. The Riches and Shane Douglas, obviously.
Exclude them two and then go at it, but I don't know. It's a shame. The State Boxing and Wrestling Commission, they can go out there and, what's really sad is half the people out there, bethed out of their heads, can go on to the Department of Motor Vehicles, and they can get a driver's license. Poor Chick Donovan, he can't even get a wrestling license. That's terrible.
It is. That's really terrible. It truly is. It's a shame.
And the elephant in the room, I guess, so to speak, we're going to be on commentary. How you feel about that?
I'm excited for it. I want to get in there and watch the action and hopefully do a good job calling it and try to get the fans involved in this and bring more people out and just make the show make the show as good as I possibly can, do what I can, do my part.
So we're going to do what we do best, and that's talk.
Exactly.
You know, you think about it. Wildfire Championship Wrestling could have found anybody in this world to do this, but they had to come get the best. They come and found us.
That's fact. Yes, sir.
I mean, that's just sweet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
My feet may not run real fast, but my mouth runs real well.
Yeah,
So.
yeah. We can't help that sometimes.
I come by that now.
That's it. But anyway, it's like I said, there's going to be a week loaded. Something I saw the other day that we can talk about, the Rated R superstar, Adam Copeland, is now in AEW.
Yeah, AEW. Edge, Adam Copeland, has jumped ship to AEW. And I actually just read an article yesterday evening. He was basically wanted to end his career with his best friend, his brother from another mother, Jay, Christian Cage.
Yeah, I mean, and that's understandable. And I don't think WWE, whoever they are, TKO, whatever, was in a position that they even wanted to work with him at this point. And that's kind of sad because as much as he's done for that company, especially after he was injured the way he was and forced into an early retirement, able to make a comeback, then they just pretty well just said, oh, we've got what we wanted out of you, time to move on.
Yeah, a miraculous comeback.
You know, and that's all well and good.
You know, we've been lucky enough to see 3 or 4 major comebacks. Guys that we thought would never wrestle again come back and put on true historical matches. Ric Flair,
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels, Edge, and Bryan Danielson.
That's true.
Guys that should have never wrestled again. And I'm probably missing a few, but those are the 4 big ones that stick
can't
out.
count Harley Race out of that argument. He had a car accident that pretty well left him paralyzed for a little bit, and they thought he'd never walk again. And not only did he walk again, he come back to become a 7 or 8-time NWA 7.
Yeah.
Multi-time NWA champion. People, I don't know how many off the top of my head, 7 or 8. Either way, we'll figure it out, and I'll stick a little note somewhere through. I don't know, somewhere through there.
Maybe maybe you can put that up for your trivia.
Ask myself how
Let
many.
the viewers come up with the right answer.
Well, I figured I'd just ask myself, since I don't know the answer. Ask myself how many times Harley Race won the NWA title.
Well, there you go. How many times did he buy it?
4.
4? Yeah. Okay, I got you.
Sorry. But no, I honestly, I do look forward to it. I look forward to the opportunity to do commentary and enjoy the great action. It's, like I said, it's going to be a great show.
Hey, I know you mentioned it. Mr. Hughes going to be there for the meet and greet, but I know you've met him a couple times. Tell us about meeting Mr. Hughes. Actually, what kind of
Meeting
person
Mr.
he is.
Hughes is something you will never forget. I can tell you that right now. The person you see is not who you meet. That is
How so?
That is the sweetest, most gentlest man that you have ever been around. He's soft-spoken, just.
And this is a big guy.
He's a very big guy. I mean, I'll post a picture somewhere through that way. That way's a picture of me and Mr. Hughes. But you know, you want to talk about meeting Mr. Hughes? That he is. He'll talk to you. He's just happy to see you. Cut up, joke around. You can't beat him. I can't say some of the jokes.
Obviously, yeah.
He's a great guy. Great guy. Tommy Rich is another one. If you ever get a chance to meet Tommy Rich, which hopefully you do, great guy, great to talk to. Cut up, joke around. There are people out there that do it because they love the fans, and there's people out there that do it because of the money. And, you know, fortunately, most of them do it for the fans.
Well, look, you've done the same thing I have. You've watched a lot of the inside story type shows that go behind the ring, behind the curtain, and a lot of these people, the reason they reach that age and they don't stop, they continue to go out and do independent show after independent show. They travel to these little towns like Betsy Lane, Kentucky, and they put on matches is because they want that feeling of being in front of the fans, doing something for the fans, having that cheer or jeer. And it's in their blood. It's like we say here locally, we say about coal miners, it's in your blood. It's what you do. It's what you what you want to do. And these guys, these wrestlers, it's in their blood. That's what they want to do. They want to be in front of the fans, and they want to be making people happy.
That is very true. And how do you walk away from something that you've done for most of your life? I mean, some of these guys have, Tommy Rich has done it since, I think, mid-'70s.
Yeah,
I may be wrong on that.
45, 50 years, maybe.
I mean, at least 40, I know of. I mean, you look at other people out there that have wrestled, Ric Flairs, the Shawn Michaels of the world, Ricky Mortons, Robert Gibsons, Terry Taylors. These guys have been around it for so long. Not so much Terry Taylor anymore, but Ricky Morton, Robert Gibson still going at this point in the year. I don't know how much longer that'll last for them. Hopefully they have many more matches ahead.
Look at Tully Blanchard.
Tully Blanchard still going.
Still going. Look at
Tully Blanchard looks like $1 million. There is another one right there. The person you see on TV is not the person you get.
Yeah.
He is a genuine individual, great to talk to. It was a pleasure getting to talk to him, honestly. Jim Duggan, always
I was always a huge Jim Duggan fan.
How do you not like Jim?
But yeah, how can you not like How can you not like Jim Duggan? The guy just seemed like a genuine human being.
Yeah, I mean, I think he doesn't get the due that he deserves because I don't want to say it and sound mean, but that WWF run, his later runs, it seemed like they wanted to cartoon him so bad.
Yeah.
I mean, and I understand the whole thing they were going for, but why? He was talented.
Well, that era too, that
80s era, I guess.
Yeah, that 80s era was in WWE. I mean, you got to look at the characters that come out of that era. They were all larger than life characters. There was no reality to them.
No, I mean
they were above and beyond reality, surreal, if you
absolutely. You talk about people like Savage, Hogan, Brutus Beefcake, Honky Tonk Man, Big Boss Man, the $1 Million Man. All of them great wrestlers. I mean,
absolutely.
And that's the thing that we were talking about the other day. Take Hulk Hogan, for instance. You watch him in the United States, and it's like 3 moves and he's done.
Right.
But if you go over and you look up one of his matches from Japan, I'm telling you right now, the man can actually work.
Yeah, he was a great worker, great in-ring worker. And you still see that today with WWE's product. You look at guys like Kevin Owens, Kevin Steen. You look at a Seth Rollins, some of these guys that worked the independents before they came to WWE. Their matches were above and beyond most of what they've done with WWE. I believe the physical side of it is a bit stifled there, and it's obviously for safety reasons. It's obviously for
they're not going to go out
for their
there.
own benefit, because WWE puts a lot of money into this, and they want these guys to wrestle and wrestle long term and draw money long term. So yeah, you can't blame them, but at the same time, they did put on a completely different product in the independents.
Well, and not even that. It's you and I actually attended a WWE house show over here in Pikeville, 2018, I want to say it was.
Yep.
Got some tickets from that one, and we attended that. It wasn't what you call disappointing, but you could tell that they were toning it down, and to me, that's just exactly what it was. They were trying to protect themselves and not go out of their way to.
Yeah, look, I don't expect I don't expect a guy like a Sami Zayn, at the time Brian Danielson, a guy like that to go out and do just the most incredible top rope high flying maneuvers when he's in downtown Pikeville, Kentucky. Take a chance of getting himself hurt and being off TV for 6 months.
But you flip that coin.
Yeah.
And you go to one of these matches, these local matches, and that's why I've always said support your local wrestling organization.
Absolutely.
These guys are burning it up. You know,
I think we're going to see a lot of that.
I look forward to this because I'm telling you right now, I think Wildfire Championship Wrestling is on to something. I think it's going to be long term, and I think it's going to be big for this region. We haven't had a real local promotion, I don't care what they say out there, that has ran as competitive as what Wildfire Championship Wrestling has ran in the last little bit. And maybe I'm a little bit biased on it, but I think they got the best names in the business.
I don't disagree. And if you look at the guys that are on this card coming up Saturday evening, again, 7 o'clock Saturday at Betsy Lane High School football field.
Well, gates open at 7. Yeah, gates open at 7. Bell time at 8 o'clock. Get out there, meet everybody. Like Mr. Hughes is going to be there. Chick Donovan, Wildfire Tommy Rich will be there. Obviously, there may be a few other big names coming along. I don't know for sure, but who knows?
Hey, and
that's the beauty of that poster. It says right there on the bottom, card subject to change.
Yeah, well, you know.
It don't mean, everybody thinks that line means something's going to be taken away. And it maybe do. But what if it means something's added?
That's a fact.
Fiji Wildman still needs an opponent.
Yep.
Nick Hamrick needs an opponent.
Yep. Kenny France
Mr.
needs an
Attitude,
opponent.
Kenny France, he needs an opponent. Mr. Attitude.
Oh, Mr. Attitude.
Are you serious? Mr. Attitude. That's what it says.
Well, when we got an attitude, Mama knew how to straighten it out.
Yeah, she got a switch after.
That's a fact.
That's what you call an attitude adjustment.
That's right.
Not to be confused with
Not to
John
be
Cena's
confused with
fancy
John Cena.
move. But, again, I think it's going to be a great show. We run Alex off. I'll be done.
I think he's got to use the little boy's room.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, he'll come back eventually.
There's nothing little about that boy.
No, he'd be like you.
monster.
You feeding him too good.
Well, you know, hey, Sheena cooks very well.
She does.
so.
She does.
No, I'm really looking forward to this match.
I am.
And every time you've asked us to come out here, Alex and I both look forward to coming out and being on the show with
Well,
you.
absolutely. Tickles me to death to have y'all.
I appreciate you thinking about me when the opportunity come
Well,
up. to do
who
this
else am I
commentary.
going to get? Nobody else
Well-
wants to sit up there and listen to me.
Well, yeah, that's true. But I've been listening to you for a long time, so.
I mean, my head's already big enough. They're going to have to, you know, they asked me to do this.
I wasn't going to say it.
You
but
take
since
the
you
biggest
did.
headed youngin' in the world, you ask him to be your commentator. Do they realize what could happen?
They knew what they were doing.
They may have to
apparently.
cut the door off to get me in. No, honestly, I appreciate it, guys. If y'all out there, thank you so much for thinking of me. Look forward to seeing everybody October 7th at the Betsy Lane High School Football Stadium, Fire on the Mountain, Wildfire Championship Wrestling. Gates open 7 p.m., bell time 8 p.m. And as always, I will see you all on the other side. Until next time, for Walter Dixon, Alex Dixon, I'm Mike Blankenship. So long from the Bluegrass State.